Congratulations for making it to Civil Service interview.
Thank you.
Would you introduce us about yourself and your educational background?
I'm Dayananda. I come from Karnataka and I've done my LBS. So this is my second attempt and second mains and first interview.
How was the interview and what type of questions were being asked by the board?
The interview was cordial. It is much different from the mock interviews that we see. So they usually want to get to know you in more and more detail. The questions will be predominantly based on your DAF that you have filled and some amount of current affairs with respect to national and international importance.
What was your optional subject?
My
How did you prepare for that?
Yeah, my optional was Kannada literature. So I taken literature for my mains. So and there were a couple of questions about the same with respect to how my literature knowledge can help in civil services and other things.
Did the board ask you questions about international relations and foreign policy?
I think with the current trend, India-US relationship, they are definitely going to ask. There was question with respect to Trump rule as well.
Okay. Since you are from MBBS and you chose Kannada literature as an optional subject, how was the transition and did you enjoy the process?
I took Kannada literature because I enjoy reading. So I wanted to take this opportunity to read literature. So I'm very happy that I took this, and it also works for your as a leisure also.
Okay. What was your approach for the prelims and how did you tackle CSAT and maths? People, aspirants have a lot of phobia around this thing.
Basically, something I'm also not very great in CSAT. I'm clearing probably with around 15-20 marks above the cutoff. What I understood is you have to do PYQs, and the formula-based approach will not work in the exam because each time the questions that are asked appears very tricky. No formula would match. I think repeated practice, and of course there are so many institutes that does free open mock exams. You give them, you apply them, you keep doing again and again. If you can solve last 10 years CSAT questions in 1.5 hours, then you are good to go.
What was the mode of preparation for this exam? How did you prepare for this exam? Mentorship, coaching, you did it as a self-study?
I took classes for my optional since it involved a lot of old literature. General studies I prepared myself. So there is enough content and free material available in the market. So, but I think you should, market is flooded with information, content and courses. You should be willing to decide it on basis of your time. If any free material that matches your time constraint, then you should go for it. If at all you are in a FOMO that that you are missing out on coaching, you can consider taking it if you provided you are staying in a city or you have money to afford, or you can have access to good internet.
Due to the democratization of the information and a lot of material is available online, do you think because of the overflow of all these materials and the coaching institutes, does it delude students? Does it really brings confusion?
See, I think it is all the way it is same only, irrespective of whether you are taking a free content or a paid content. The students who are taking paid content are in a confusion to pay which institute. The students who are taking the free are thinking which material is the best material. What I have seen is much of the students spend their time in deciding their content by the time exam would have already come. You take a day, you see 2 to 3 resources, you pick one, you finish it off.
How do you stay physically and emotionally fit, given the competitive nature of this exam and the kind of the pressure this exam brings with it?
Physically, I am not the best person because of injuries. I am not being able to keep fit. But emotionally, something that I and my friends have followed is we would not study on, since Sunday afternoon, we would not study. So we used to study around 6 days a week, and one day would be leisure, where we spent in going out or watching a movie and spending quality time with either friends or family. I think that also you have to make sure, and nobody studies for 16 hours except for the people those are trying to create something. I think if you study 8 hours per day, if it is your first attempt, then if you study 8 hours per day for 1 to 1.5 hours, 5 to 6 days a week, that would be good enough time.
As a doctor, since you are a doctor, and mental health is one of the challenging issues for the civil service aspirant, what's your take on mental health and UPSC preparation?
See, UPSC again, one of the main factors of mental health issue is unpredictability. So UPSC exam has unpredictability as an element to it. I think you have to balance because the individual gets to choose their optional. You have an ethics paper, which also kinds of makes you think about your own mind, your own approach. So these things you need to balance, and as I said, you need to have a good social life, good amount of friends as well, with whom you can spend 3 to 4 hours of quality life in a week. You need to balance both. Even at all stages, what it is checking is your mental determination, because of course I'm taking long for this answer. So even in prelims, even the topper may not be very confident of more than 30 questions. Okay. CSAT also, I don't think except for very cream, I don't think anybody would be able to solve 100 questions. Maths as well, all of them you have to write 9 papers, and there is margin of error is very minimal. So here the mind game is a lot, and your mental resilience matters a lot. So make sure that you are relaxed, you are calm, but still you are working hard. Do not confuse working hard with being tensed all the time and running around with the book. Both of it is different thing. So work on the same.
As a doctor, what's your prescription for the aspirants who are preparing for this exam on the mental health side?
That I have already addressed. Something that is see, never feel that you are being a burden to somebody. I know that many people from poor family or poor background prepare for the exam. Never feel that you are a burden to. You are putting your efforts. Always believe in the process. There is no shortcut. So you have to trust yourself, and you have to gauge yourself whether you are progressing with preparation. Okay, that is something that you should see. Like for example, if you are writing prelims, if you are scoring 10 out of 100, but you have to see in the next 6 months if you are jumping to 60 or 70. So you should watch your progress.
So you mean to say that you need to examine the relative growth of yours in terms of the quantitative number.
Never compare yourself with others. Compare yourself with your past self.
Okay. Making the comparison with the others also brings a lot of stress to the individual. Okay. Next question will be like, what are your hobbies? And what is the role of hobbies in civil service examination?
My hobbies were, I'm interested in landscape photography. Of course, I do pursue landscape photography even now. I have an Insta page. Apart from that, I write also. I write a bit. I write poetries and story. I write poetry stories and plays. Uh, Whether it did contribute in my preparation, I'm not very sure. But whether it did help me in my mental health, of course it does. It makes you, keep calm. It makes you keep relaxed. And also, the more deeper you get well into, UPSC preparation, the more lost you feel. So always, stay afloat. Don't get drowned.
Okay. So then, what's your advice for the aspirants? Like, should they have any backup plan for this? Since the unpredictability factor is pretty high.
I am not the right person to tell, because I'm already working. I'm coming from plan B to plan A.
So what is this plan B to plan A? Like,
That I'm already working. I'm doing fine. I finished all my education. Now I'm thinking that I should explore further. That is why I'm here. I think for most of the aspirants, always take your first attempt seriously. Do not give without preparation. Prepare fully and give your best attempt. Then you can consider giving 2 to 3 attempts. If you are not clearing the first stage of the exams itself, then meanwhile you parallelly you prepare other options also. Something that I want to tell is, initially when you are preparing, your capability to absorb is very high. Over a period of time, your understanding reduces, but what you can improve is your applicability. Whatever you know, you can apply by answer writing or by teaching your friend or something like that. But if you are thinking only by reading, with time you are going to improve, that is not the case. So I think, if you are writing 2 to 3 attempts, you're not clearing prelims, if you have already given your best attempt or if you have already put in a lot of efforts, then you should parallelly do plan B. Having said that, when I say plan B, what I am telling is, if you have already prepared here 3 years, then you can actually manage both.
do you follow any sports?
Cricket, of course, everybody. Oh, I have to check the scores now. The championship of the match is going on.
Who is your favorite player in the cricket?
I think it is difficult to say. I think I still follow Sachin.
Sachin Tendulkar. What is one of the best thing that you have learned from subject related and you are applying that like experience into this examination?
Something that applies to me is probably the Sachin's 241 score, where he didn't hit a single shot on the offside. That is because you are prone to, there are areas of weakness in you. Every individual has weakness, but you have to see how you combat them and you make it to a success. Having said that, I have just given interview. I have not cleared the exam. If I clear, probably maybe I would give more talks. If I do not, probably I will continue my other career option.
How was the night before interview? और आप कैसा feel हो रहा है?
It was fine only. I was calm. Now also I'm good. You can see.
अभी कैसा feel हो रहा है? Like you're finally done.
I'm feeling light. I'm feeling good.
Thank you so much for speaking to us. It was very insightful having conversation with you. Also, your Hindi is pretty awesome. Like I was really impressed the way you were having a conversation in the Hindi.
No, we can try Telugu also, Tamil also. I speak quite a few languages.
What's your advice to the Telugu like aspirants? You can talk in the Telugu also and give a brief advice to them.
బాగా చదవండి. ఎగ్జామ్లో అన్ప్రెడిక్టబిలిటీ ఫ్యాక్టర్ ఉన్నాయి. కనీస చాలా మందిని కూడా క్లియర్ చేస్తున్నారు. మీరు చాలా ప్రిపేర్ అయితే మీరు కూడా క్లియర్ చేయి ఐఏఎస్ అవుతారు.
Thank you so much.